forward this here. Misses it, I'm gonna send them as well some information. I'm gonna actually put a link in here. Bear with
Okay.
me.
And you're Amy, right?
Yeah, I'm Amy.
Okay.
Excuse me for 1 second. I'm gonna grab a link. I have this calendar link where you can schedule like a 15-minute meeting with me,
Okay.
and I can walk you through adding a patient or any issue that you might be having with the platform
Okay.
technically.
You know, I
And
did meet with you one time, but truth is, I need to just jump on and do it, you know?
yeah, everyone says, and I believe that this is probably true, that it's like getting over that first hurdle, because like a mind over matter, your mind thinks, oh, it's going to be so much effort.
Right.
And then the first time that they do it, it's so easy. It just takes a few minutes. But
Okay.
that's what I always tell folks. Like if you've got a patient and you want to see how it works, you can just schedule a meeting with me, and you can also text me. So
Okay.
I'll put
That's
my phone
wonderful.
and I have three other social workers on my team. So like if I'm not available, I can get one of them to give you a call back. So easiest way,
Great.
most instant way is to text me. I respond
Okay.
quick. And if I'm stuck in something, I'll let you know
You'll
or
let me
pass.
know.
Yeah.
That sounds wonderful.
But if it's something you can kind of plan ahead for, you can click on that Calendly link right there. If you save those two things, you can always
Okay.
schedule a meeting with me.
So then, I want to make sure that I understand correctly. So the platform is all about just an easy way to enroll people in treatment. Is that what it is?
Yep,
Okay.
exactly. So if you've got them in front of you at the hospital or
Mhm. I work at a correctional facility, so
oh,
it's a
perfect.
little bit different in that I do get to work with the individuals, but I don't have the ability to take them to my office or take them necessarily, to a computer. So,
You can do it over the phone. If you're in front of them, you can, chat with them, but you can do it over the
okay,
phone, and you could also set up like a Zoom or a Teams and share your screen with them so that they see as you're putting the information in. That's how I like to do it, because I get a lot of phone calls where people will say, can you help me get my kid a facility, or,
okay.
my spouse or me. And I'll
Right.
say, let's jump on a Zoom so you can see the information I'm collecting as
It's
I'm.
so funny. I want to say, but the truth is that even that's hard. I'm not supposed to have my phone with me when I'm with them, and yeah. So probably ROIs is going to be the way that I'm going to have to go about it, unless you have a different idea, because I
We
don't
have
have the
the R
ability to.
Yeah, we have the ROI embedded,
Okay.
the platform, so you'll have them sign off on the ROI, the HIPAA form, right in the platform, and we provide a digital way to do that.
Okay.
But let's
Yeah.
chat about that separately,
Thank
because
you.
I
Sure.
want to give you the full attention that that deserves. But this is
Absolutely.
going to be an awesome meeting for you, because this program specifically works with folks that are doing reentry. So
Wonderful.
this is going to be a good opportunity to find one of those programs, and they're nationwide, so they can
Oh,
tell you.
that's super.
Um, but yeah, call me anytime. I can work with you. And the other thing I'll do, Dana, is if you like, I'll send you a PDF of all of the questions that you're going to ask.
Okay.
That you could like make a copy of it so that you can put it on a clipboard. And if you're sitting in front of them, tick the boxes and then go back to your computer and put the information in that way. I hate
That's
to think that
super.
you have to
Yeah.
do it that way, but if that's your
Yeah. That would
policy,
be wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put that together for you, and I'll get
Thank
that to
you.
you Monday morning. Hi, Nimra. I see that you're on mute, but I wanted to tell you that last week or 2 weeks ago, when I was at your office for that meeting and I walked in and said hi to everyone, I wasn't sure if you were in that room or not, and I didn't have my glasses on. And I feel so bad because I had just talked to you like an hour before that meeting, and you had won the raffle. So hi, Sylvia. So, we'll get started in just a moment here. And I was telling you, Brianna, that folks do tend to jump in and jump out of the meeting. Because their patients come first, and so they may be going into working with a patient. Hi, Celia. Hi, Nimra. Um,
No worries.
so they'll be jumping in and out. But then I'll send the video to everybody. So, and don't worry
No
if you
problem.
guys jump out, I'll send you the video. And if you guys would like, I can also send out this presentation that we're looking at now so that people can have it at their fingertips. So I want to introduce Brianna. I met Brianna a couple of months ago, out in Bakersfield at a community meeting. And we just got to talking, and she was telling me about her program and the great things that they do. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. We need this. And I want to just say a couple of things while we're waiting for folks to kind of come in. Um, this is a faith-based program. I love that we can have a faith-based program on the platform because it gives folks an opportunity to not only build a community, but build a community that supports their journey towards sobriety and stabilization, and build a community around them based on faith, which may be their safe place, right? So if you grew up going to church, if you're someone who grew up going to temple or grew up going to mosque, um, being surrounded by people who celebrate the same faith principles that you do can be very comforting and give you all of the guidance that you need. So I absolutely love that we have this opportunity to provide folks with a link towards Christian faith-based services to get them back to a healthy and productive life. So this is awesome. The other thing I absolutely just my jaw hit the floor when she told me this. Your patients don't need Medi-Cal, they don't need Medicare, Medicaid, or any insurance policy whatsoever. That is so rare. There are a lot of programs that go to these meetings, like the one that Brianna and I were in, and she will tell you, I said this to the person. People say in these meetings from all these different treatment providers, send us all your patients. We'll talk to all your patients. We serve everybody. No, they don't. There's no facility that can serve everybody. Some facilities can serve people with Medi-Cal, some can serve with private insurance. So, and there are some comorbidities and dual diagnosis that a treatment facility just may not be able to accept. So they want you to refer all the patients to you so they can give them that hard sales pitch. And a lot of the private treatment facilities say that they offer scholarships, but let's be very clear about that. They don't offer scholarships to Medi-Cal patients. They don't offer scholarships to uninsured or undocumented patients. They do not. They offer scholarships to patients who have the insurance they accept, but can't afford some of the copays or deductibles. That's not a scholarship. That's them saying, we want that insurance policy, you know? So call them out on that. When we were in that meeting, Brianna will tell you, I absolutely called that young man out and said, do you really provide scholarships or do you just waive copays and deductibles? So that's my soapbox. Keep people accountable to what they say. This organization, they do provide free services to anybody, no matter what insurance they do or don't have, no matter what documentation they have. If this person needs help, they say yes, as long as they can meet the needs of the medical clinical needs. So
Can I
any
ask, is that the Kern County Teen Challenge that we're looking at on the screen?
correct.
Okay, want to double
And,
check,
and,
make
and
sure I
I
didn't know the
asked,
name.
yeah, and I asked Brianna to clarify some things about the age demographics that they accept. So she'll do that during her presentation, and I don't want to speak for her, but I'll let you take over from here, Brianna.
Okay, no problem. So my name is Brianna Lakin, and I am the New Life Outreach and Prevention Office Manager for Kern County Teen Challenge. It is a new endeavor that we're doing, and we specifically are doing outreach right now. My coworker does prevention, but I do outreach. I go to the streets. I try to help people connect to our program because like Amy was saying, we are absolutely free and we have beds open and available. So I'm going to begin at the beginning. Okay, so in 1957, there was a young pastor by the name of David Wilkerson who saw a newspaper clipping of 3 young boys that were going on trial for murdering a disabled boy. And so the pastor went to the courthouse to try to speak to the judge. And of course, like, you cannot just enter a courtroom and demand to speak to the judge on behalf of these teenagers. So he was kicked out of the courtroom, but there was a picture that was taken of him holding his Bible. He then began doing street outreach himself and trying to minister to the teens, hence the name Teen Challenge, of New York City. So what he saw were teenagers that were struggling with addiction, promiscuity, gang relations, and he wanted to meet that need. So in 1957, he opened up the first Teen Challenge, and one of the first graduates was Nikki Cruz. And if you guys are familiar with Nikki Cruz, there was a movie that was done called The Cross and the Switchblade, and it documents that beginning of that relationship. And here we are 60 years later with over 1,100 centers worldwide. I am part of the SoCal region, and I'm here to talk about our Kern County campuses. So Kern County has 2 campuses, one men's, one women's, and we are absolutely free. We are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit organization, and we do not ask any of our students, we call them students, not clients, any of our students anything out of pocket. I'll go over all of that when we go over the vocational training, but I just wanted to preface that we are a Christian discipleship program. We used to call ourselves a school, but we are a program. We want to help anybody over the age of 18 and over. There's no cap for the age limit. We have had elderly come in here. We've had men and women that came in when they were like 60, 70 years old, and sure that they can't move as quickly as the young people, but you know what? Addiction does not have an age. So I just wanted to go over that really quick. Okay, let me do this. All right, so here is a picture of our women's campus. This is also our headquarters for Kern County. We have a business office. We do have some properties that we have. So people come in to do business there. But if you can see on the left-hand side of this building, that's our dorm rooms. We call ourselves an induction center because we are phase 1 of a 2-phase program. So our women will be here for 3 to 5 months. And then we transfer them, excuse me, and then we transfer them to their second phase. Inside our chapel service, you see right here some of our students enjoying chapel and praise and worship. Here is our men's ranch and some of the pictures out there. So our men's ranch is actually in Shafter, and it's amongst a bunch of orchards out there. The campuses, both campuses are very large. They are very huge, and neither campus has gates or a fence around them. Our students are free to come and go. If they do not want to be here, they're more than welcome to leave. We don't want them to feel like they are in prison, because a lot of people that come in, they've been locked up, they've seen the streets, they've had a lot of run-in with police officers, and we have never had the need to put a fence up. So people feel like they're actually free. But it is a residential program. It is not free to come and go throughout the day. They are expected to stay on grounds unless they do a work call off grounds with a staff member or an intern. chapel. So if you can see this chapel on the upper right-hand side, both of our campuses were donated. Two beautiful chapels. We have every morning personal morning devotions. They have a time of prayer and Bible reading. There is worship every single morning for about 30 minutes. We do chapel services. We have staff-led chapel services and then pastor-led chapel services on Fridays and Wednesday mornings. The curriculum that we go over in our phase 1 induction, these are the books that they begin in. How can I know I'm a Christian? A quick look at the Bible, attitudes. So how to have a new attitude, a biblical attitude, instead of continuing to walk in the same old mindset that we had in our addiction. Successful Christian living, we teach how to start learning how to be successful in our new walk with the Lord. Growing through failure, this is really cool because what this does is that it helps our students to have a new esteem and a new outlook on, the things that they have failed at in the past, but how to learn how to get up and start learning how to walk forward with God. We have obedience to God and obedience to man, anger and personal rights. In some courtrooms, this will cover anger management, and it'll satisfy that if a student comes in having to have anger management classes. Character qualities. So character qualities are qualities that our students see in themselves that they need to learn how to overcome. One of my favorite ones is how to overcome unforgiveness and how to walk in forgiving people, because a lot of our students come in with past trauma that it's been hard for them to let go. So we're able to help walk them through that. Virtue is another one, because all of our students come in with addiction. It's either drugs or alcohol, and they have done a lot of things in order to get those. And so it helps them to have a new light and a new self-esteem. We offer vocational training. So these are a couple of things that we are doing right now. So we have a food catering truck. So we will go out to events and we will serve food. And this is one of the ways that we raise funds for our program. Our students learn how to cook, how to provide a customer service like attitude. We also have just recently procured a screen printer. And so now our students are learning how to do that. And it's one of the ways that we also raise funds, because now we're making shirts that that reflect our godly attitudes, but also promote the program of Teen Challenge. We'll sell these at church events, volunteer events. And it's really cool to see like how the community will come behind us and they'll purchase these things. So this is doing really good so far. We also do landscaping. We teach some of our students how to do office administration. And in Kern County, we have 3 construction crews that go out and they learn all kinds of stuff in those crews. So like I said before, we are phase 1 in a 2-phase program. And we transfer our students. We don't put them on a bus or a train and send them to another program. We will take them personally to the 2nd phase. Now, the 2nd phase is where they will complete the program. And as you can see here, the men get to go to a castle. It's absolutely beautiful. It's in Riverside. It is called the Benedict Castle. And this is the curriculum that they will learn and grow from in Riverside. So the men's curriculum is slightly different than the women's curriculum, because in our faith, men and women will do 2 different things. Men have different needs than women, and women obviously have more like emotional needs than men do. So it's really cool to see the difference there. So this is the women's second phase. And so the women go to Ventura on a beautiful mountainside. So we own all this land, but we only live on a small portion of it. It is a mountain right before Ojai. So literally every morning the women get to come out of their rooms and just experience the beauty of nature that surrounds them. You can smell the ocean breeze every morning. And here our women get a lot of peace, a lot of quiet, a lot of time where they can dig deep with the Lord. And here is their curriculum that they go over. And with women, it is so amazing to see women being able to finally walk in their calling of the Lord and be at peace. Because when we women, when we're out and about, and we've got our families together, we stay busy, huh? So this is a time where they get to learn how to quiet their minds down and really dig deep with God.
I have a question for you about the women's services. Um, uh, can women who, because this seems like a long program, I mean, by the second phase, it sounds like they're in this for around 6 months already, right?
So it could be as short as 3 months or as long as 5 months before they go to the second phase. So the second phase, they'll be there for nine, it'll be either 7 to 9 months that they will be here for the second phase. And they will complete the program at 1 year. Um, and they will graduate at those campuses. So the women will graduate at the women's second phase in Ventura, and the men will graduate from the second phase in Riverside.
Okay. During the first and second phase, do our mommies have the ability to bring their children in with them, or do you have any campuses where they can live with their children? That's a long time to be without your kids.
So we do have a San Jose campus, but it's not connected with the Kern County. So that would be something that they could look up on our Adult and Teen Challenge website separately. So they wouldn't be able to contact them through Recover Well.
Okay, so but just being practical, if I've got a patient in front of me that is like, I'll go to this program, but I have kids, can you connect them to the San Jose people?
Oh, well, I can give them the information. Absolutely. So they have a
Okay.
different, each campus has a different induction coordinator. So I could get them the information, and then they would have to speak with the induction coordinator at that campus.
Okay, yeah, because we have a lot of mommies that are not going to treatment because they can't bring their kids, and that's a extra barrier that women have. Anyway, more on
Yeah.
that
Oh,
later.
absolutely. Absolutely. I totally understand. Not everybody gets the opportunity to place their children with safe family members.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, sorry. Thanks for letting me interrupt.
Yeah, no worries. No worries. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to get this to go down. All right. And so opportunities. So the cool thing is after somebody goes through our program, it's 1 year. So they've been in our program, they've graduated. What do they do now? So they have choices. It's not like we just say, hey, thank you for doing our program. Good luck. We have opportunities. And so what we offer, first off, is a 4-month apprenticeship. And our students, if they did well during the program and they show themselves to be somebody that walks in integrity and can be trusted to be an apprentice, we offer them a 4-month apprenticeship. And at the end of the 4-month apprenticeship, they get $1,000 stipend. And the $1,000 can purchase things that they need, because when somebody comes in, a lot of times they have absolutely nothing. In the program, we have opportunities to bless them with clothes and hygiene. In this apprenticeship, we'll offer them the $1,000 once they've completed it, and we can buy them hygiene. They can use it to pay restitution on court fines. It can help them get some of the things that they need in order to begin their brand new life. Some people, if they feel led to get into ministry, we offer Teen Challenge Ministry Institute. And what that is that is another year broken down into 4 quarters where they can get ministerial vocational training. This campus is placed in Southgate, Los Angeles. And as you can see with all these happy, shiny faces, we have about 20 students per quarter that graduate. In their 4th quarter, what they do is that they learn how to develop a resume, and then they make contact with one of our 1,100 campuses to see if they are hiring. And it's a great opportunity. So they go from being addicted, homeless, to being hireable in 2.5 years. And this is absolutely amazing. And we don't ask them for anything. At the Teen Challenge Ministry Institute, again, they're still under the bubble of Teen Challenge, but now they've got freedom. Now they're learning how to do things on their own. We still house them, we still provide food for them, but they have an opportunity to do off-grounds work calls through Teen Challenge Ministry Institute. And they get to actually earn a little bit of money. So they learn how to save money. They learn how to utilize their money well. And it's amazing because during this time, they will be placed at churches or sober living ministries, and they learn how to do ministry hands-on. They continue to learn biblically based curriculum, and it's through Berean. During this time, they do about 7 books towards a pastoral license. And if they want to pursue a pastoral license, they can continue working with Berean and to finish those classes. We offer re-entry housing at some of our campuses. So if the student has completed the 1 year, that's just the requirement, just the 1 year. Some of our campuses, like Kern County, we have apartments that are available if somebody does not want to pursue ministry and they want to go look for a job and they want to start restoring that family dynamic, like how you were saying, women with children, they can do this now. They can apply to get into one of our apartments, and then it's a low rent. So they're asked to pay some rent, but I think the first month is actually free. And then they get to learn how to do life again. Now they're stable. Now they can look for a job. Now they have the opportunity to have their children back with them. And it's really amazing. Right now, we have about 3 people that graduated from TCMI that have started getting back into society, working, having normal, happy lives again, and they stay plugged in. One of our home churches that we take our students to, the pastor himself is an alumni. And so we encourage people to stay plugged in, because if you separate from community, what happens is people start to feel isolated again. They lose those connections with the people that they've just spent all this time with, and then relapse is inevitable. But if they stay connected to the body, they go to church, they see that they are loved and that we come alongside them. We're starting a new women's group on campus at the Kern Women's Home. The men actually meet at a barbershop, and they do Bible studies. So it's really cool. Let me see. All right, I think I've gone through all my slides. Does anybody have any questions?
Thank you so much. That was awesome.
Yes, great presentation, Brianna. Um, and it is wonderful to see that they have a faith-based program such as this. My question is, the San Jose campus, because I live and work closer to the San Jose area. Um,
Right.
does the San Jose campus have the same format as the Kern County?
So San Jose is part of the Nevada and NorCal region. Um, I think they do a lot of the same books. I don't know what their schedules look like. From what I understand, they're not exactly like us, but they're similar. So each region is ran a little bit differently. They are not a 501(c) nonprofit. They do cost money.
Okay, okay, but their format will be the same. But
The only campuses in California are in the SoCal region that are 501(c).
okay, all righty. And TCMI, do you have to be an alumni to get into that? I mean, that sounds really interesting. Where I wish I could join something like that.
Yeah, so you know what, and that's a great question because I actually have a coworker who works out in Shafter. He went through another Christian men's home and he was working there and he was actually able to go to TCMI, and then after graduating TCMI he got hired with Kern County. So it's not only for graduates of the program. They do make some exceptions, but I think the definite requirement is that they went through a Christian program in order to get in there. But there's I've only seen one that did that. I have seen people graduate other teen challenges from other parts of the U.S. and then come all the way to Southgate, Los Angeles. Like we've had students that were from New Jersey, New York, Wisconsin. So it's not only students that went through Southern California region, but it's offered to anybody from any state that has gone through the program.
Yes. And what's your age range for Teen Challenge?
Ages 18 and over. There's no cap, but in SoCal, it is 18 and over.
Okay. Well, and I was thinking too, what's the age range for the you call them not patients but students?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We call them students because that changes their mindset of who they are. People have already been called patients, clients, criminals. And so we change that so they start from the beginning, from the gate, right out the door, having a new identity. We stand on the scripture, 2 Corinthians 5:17, that states, if any man believes in Christ, any man or woman believes in Christ, they are a new creation. The old is gone, the new is here. So we encourage our students, the moment that they come through the doors of Teen Challenge, they're not the person that they were outside. They're no longer the person walking as an addict. They're no longer the person that was the hustler. They're no longer the pimp or the prostitute. Um, we want to encourage them to start seeing themselves as somebody that is loved and can be loved. So
And what was their age range for students?
for Southern California is 18 and over.
Okay. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Brianna, Ardenise had a question.
I have a question too, so.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Okay, I guess I just wanted to say, first of all, that was a beautiful presentation and thank you. I think it was,
Thank
you
you.
really, really did a nice job covering everything. And I'm just absolutely thrilled to have a faith-based program
Amen.
on board. And so the one question that I have is, I work here within a correctional facility and I do the medication assisted treatment, which is here in the Humboldt County Correctional Facility, we use a medication, a Suboxone. And so I've always heard that with Teen Challenge that medications are a no. So I wanted to get your feedback on that.
So in Southern California, it is no.
Okay,
However, if they are in the correctional facility and you are able to taper them off, that would be awesome. We don't expect here in Kern County, we do not expect people to be totally sober. However, if they've been under medication treatment, we ask that the doctor that prescribed the medications give us a doctor's note saying that they can do our program without being on that medication any longer. So
yeah, I appreciate that. And I think
Yeah.
that we look at being, you know, clean and sober different ways because
Yeah.
I'm a real believer in the medication assisted treatment. So, and I
totally.
appreciate that Teen Challenge isn't, but and that's the one thing that it always deters me from getting people into the program because we do have one here in Humboldt County as well, but yeah.
I have a question for you.
I'm
Dana.
ready. Okay.
It's not always just. How long
Okay,
do
so-
your patients tend to be on the Suboxone?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah,
You know, it really varies. I have friends, you know, I started a residential treatment program, waterfront here in Humboldt County. I've got friends that are counselors that, you know, I don't think that they ever have plans of getting off of it. It's just something that works for them. And so, you know, I think the majority of probably the counselors at waterfront are on the medication. I think that a lot of people don't have plans of getting off of it. Some people do, but yeah. And I've, you know, I used to be anti, that's a whole nother topic. And I don't feel that it's appropriate to talk about it, but I'm a real believer in the medication. I've seen it be miraculous for people and people that have never ever been able to find recovery before have been able to find it with the medication. So I'm a believer that if it's working, why stop? But you know, there are some people that for whatever reason want to quit, and it's just a real personal choice for people.
Oh, definitely. I totally agree with you.
yeah.
You know,
I just wanna,
Teen Challenge is not for everybody.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is that there are benefits to every program. And so some people, I have a friend that she's done the program several times and just cannot seem to stay off of alcohol. So I recommended her another form of treatment. And every treatment has benefits.
Right? Yeah.
yeah, that's, I mean, that is the mission of Recover Well, is to meet people where they're at
Mhm.
and make sure that they have resources that are gonna work for them. Because absolutely, some people, their new drug of choice is gonna be following Christ or, you know, or
And see, I don't look at, I mean, this is just me and it hurts my heart when I hear you say it that way. I have to be honest. I don't feel that following Christ is a new drug of choice. But that's me and we're all very different. But I do appreciate that there are different, you know, different ways for different people to find recovery. And so, but for
Yeah.
me, following Christ has nothing to do with a different drug of choice. It
Well-
goes way beyond that, you know.
yeah, but what I mean by that is it's the new thing that they are going to utilize in their life to survive,
Uh-huh.
you know? So, you know, however you want to phrase it, whether you're
Yeah.
calling it that or by another name, or no matter what your faith is, being able to connect with your faith and your spirituality and your maker is life-saving in the way
Oh,
that
absolutely. Absolutely.
who are trying to survive an addiction will feel that attachment is going to help them survive. So that's what I mean
Absolutely.
by that. Not necessarily that God or Jesus are drugs. I don't
Yeah,
mean to say.
yeah, I guess a drug of choice to me is like,
But,
you know, but
but
no,
I also
I understand, I appreciate, I do understand what you're saying. So
yeah.
I wish to God that Teen Challenge would be more open to the medication for people. That's just something I've got to say, you know, because I think it's a wonderful program, but it hasn't worked
I
for
have
the
a
people that
question
I'm.
now, because I think this is going to go on and on and on and on.
Go for it.
Okay, so how much is the cost? Is there any cost involved?
Absolutely free.
Okay, okay.
We do not ask anybody. So, okay. So again, this is, Southern California region, not out of this region. So Southern California is absolutely free, we do not charge anything to come into the program. We do not charge anything of the students during the duration. We just ask, and only Kern County will do same day intakes.
Hmm.
The other campuses will not. But Kern County, we have broken down all barriers as best we can in order to be able to get somebody in and meet that need immediately. Because as we can all agree, is that when an addict says, I want help right then in the moment, we got to get them right then in the moment. Because 5-10 minutes from then, when they think about it for too long, they won't do it. You know, we call that the enemy lying to them. So we want to be able to go out, do street ministry. Somebody says, hey, I really want help, be able to bring them in. And then what we do is we allow them the time to detox naturally. And it can be ugly sometimes. Fentanyl is real ugly. I mean, it is horrendous. This is another thing that I want to present. Almost everybody that works for Teen Challenge went through the program and was an ex-addict. So we are able to fully understand and embrace what it means to be an addict and then come into the program and be totally healed. I came in 2015. I had been detoxing for 3 days. And it still took me another 2 weeks. I was an IV heroin and meth addict. I tell people I was wash windows at 3 a.m. on a rainy night. That is how much I was just encompassed in my addiction. But I am 9 years sober. I have been working with Teen Challenge for 6 years. I have full restoration with my children, and I actually have my youngest living with me. I've had him for 5 years. And so I know this program can work for anybody that is willing to do it, but we have to get them when they're willing to. We can't force anybody here. We can't make anybody want to get this. And it really is about timing. And you never know when that time is. But we never want to give up hope. There's always, always, always hope. And so the cool thing is that we have the opportunity where it's different here in Kern County. And so that's really what I want to highlight right there, is that we want to bring people right in off the streets and meet those needs. We can help them get their IDs, their social security cards. We can help them get their physical exam. We've just made this new connection with Clinica Sierra Vista here in town. They're actually going to be coming to us and doing our physicals. And another thing is that they're going to be able to prescribe them medications that they need. So if somebody comes in and their blood pressure is sky high off the roof because they haven't been taking care of it, but yet they've been doing meth, the doctors are going to be able to prescribe them medications, and we're going to be able to get the medication within that day, because now Clinica Sierra Vista has been able to sign them up for Medi-Cal immediately. And so we're just really trying to do our best to break down any barriers, because some of these places it takes weeks, if not months, to be able to get the help that they need. They might not even have tomorrow in some cases.
Now,
Wendy Martinez.
what about somebody coming from a different county? Do you allow that?
Oh,
If somebody
absolutely.
was to decide to come from, say, Humboldt County, they wanted to go there, would I be able to send them there?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. Yeah,
wonderful,
absolutely. Yeah, they would
wonderful.
they would have to, we're not able, That's the one thing. We would not be able to pay for the cost of their train ride or their bus fare. But we'll take people from any other counties, any other states.
Wonderful.
If they're able to get here. Now, the thing is that we have to be able to interview them. So, people can't just, pop up from another county and say, hey, I'm here. I mean, we would still try to work with them, but yeah.
In
There has to be an interview.
Yeah, in the Recover Well platform, there is a communication about that. So when you apply them to the Teen Challenge, it sets it up so that you can connect the patient to Teen Challenge for that interview.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Wendy has a question, so I don't want to miss her.
Yeah.
And then
My question was if you have any people at Teen Challenge who have went through it with fentanyl withdrawal and come out on the other side. Any
Yeah.
counselors or people actually working there that have went through fentanyl withdrawal?
Yes, we have, and when it's not pretty, and and I explain it to like the person going through, because I've had so many students on my caseload with heroin, fentanyl. Our weapon of warfare is prayer and time. Because it's going to take time. It doesn't take just a few days. It takes weeks, and we understand that. And so people that have been there 3 months, we're not going to expect them to be able to do the same thing as somebody that's been there like only like a 1 week and coming off of fentanyl. We meet their physical need and their spiritual need. If they do need say hospitalization, we make sure that they get that. We make sure that they go to the hospital and that they see a physician there. We do offer, say somebody's like going through the fentanyl withdrawal and they say, I can't do this. I need to go to Good Samaritan and withdraw, at the hospital. We try to help meet that need too. And we will save their bed for them.
Okay.
What if they are treated with Suboxone there and discharged with it? My only thing is I think I love the idea of this program, but not allowing someone to have medication for their addictions is like not letting someone have their insulin for their diabetes. I mean, you accept all the other medications that people can't live without because they will die. And for some of the people that you treat, it's the same for them. They will die if they don't have this medication. I just, that's all I have to say about it. Thank you.
That's a good point, Wendy. I'm wondering, Brianna, what does your organization suggest? Because some people don't want to be on Suboxone forever either, but they, as Wendy pointed out, they need it to survive, and you know,
I want to chime in on that because that's an interesting topic. But there are many treatment modalities out there, and every modality is not for everyone. And the bottom line is this is Teen Challenge's process, and if you can get with it, great. If you can't, then you just got to find somewhere else to go. And I don't think we're going to change their mind on how they feel about how they run their program at this time. But maybe later on down the line, as education continues to be out there and people learn more about and understand more about it, maybe it will. But I doubt it because it's a faith-based program and they're very strict on their belief system, and it's like it's just not for everyone. But if someone can get with it, then it's a wonderful thing.
yeah, I agree. And I'm wondering, Brianna, for patients that really want to do a program like this, that are on an MAT schedule, is there something that you guys can recommend? Like, are there sister programs that you have that will support them in a taper down? And then they can come in to do the Teen Challenge?
So I did mention Good Samaritan Hospital, so somebody could go to Good Samaritan Hospital and detox. However, they would have to be on Kern Medi-Cal. They wouldn't be able to be like out of county Medi-Cal. That's really in Kern County, that's pretty much the only place that'll do that. That will help them medically
All right,
detox.
well, I think to Artenise's point, you know, if going, you know, for lack of a better term, cold turkey is not going to be for that patient, then this is not going to be the program for them. And we do have MAT programs that they can do MAT. And just so you guys know, I fully support meeting people where they're at. And I want, if someone is on an MAT program and they want to taper down or stay where they're at, you know, we can connect them with those services and help them find supportive housing. But you guys just reach out to me, call me, let me know what the patient wants, because I'm here to make sure the patient can get on board with that, with the program. I think this is an awesome program, but it's not going to be for everybody. Just like all of the programs in our net in the Recover Well network. Every program, to my point in the beginning of this, I said, when these marketers come in and tell you guys, oh, apply all patients, call us with all your patients, that's a disservice to the patient. Not every program is the right fit. Some patients need MAT, some patients want to taper down, some don't want MAT, some are meth and they can't use MAT. Some want a spiritual, some want not spiritual. There's all different things, and all of us come here to find a simple way to do that calculus so we don't have to think of every possible piece of that. So if it's not going to be Teen Challenge, we will find something. So you should all have my phone number, and I put it in here in the chat thing there. But you can take my number down, 818-522-3654. I will help anybody, day or night. I went through it with my dad. I lost my dad to addiction, and whatever that person needs, I'm going to do everything in my power to help them get what they need and support you doing that work, because what you guys do every day and the people that you're working with, that is God's work. Whether you choose to subscribe to any specific religion, it's God's work to go out here in the world and help people live a happy, healthy life. So
Amen.
yeah, exactly. So I want to do the raffle because I know a lot of you got to jump off. This has been an awesome conversation though, and I really appreciate you guys bringing all these different ideas. I hope all of our meetings are like this because this is the most important thing in the world to me. I love that you're all here doing this. So I'm going to share my screen. How do I do that? Amy, come on, share your screen. Okay, here we go. Can you guys see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I got all the names up here. I'm gonna go ahead and spin it. Let's see. All right, Sylvia. Okay, cool. And we got one more. Sylvia, I'll email you your Amazon gift card, and let's see who else we got on here. Vanessa. Vanessa, are you on here? I don't know if I saw you today. All right. Vanessa, are you on here? Put it in the chat if you don't have a microphone so I can know. Oh, yes. Okay, I'm gonna do it again and so we can get Wendy. All right. All right, Sylvia and Wendy, I will email you guys your gift card. Thank you so much for your input, your feedback, your thoughts, all your time here today. And I love you guys dearly for the work that you do and the care and consideration that you give to people who, like my dad, honestly got turned away so many times. So thank you for the life-saving work that you're doing. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Have a beautiful weekend. You all deserve it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
presentation, Brianna.
Thank you, Brianna. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wonderful presentation. Oh, and Dana, feel free to
Yeah.
call me anytime. I'd love to
Okay.
walk
All
all of
righty.
this.
Thank you
Need
so
any
much.
help whatsoever. And I got lots of MAT programs that I work with.
I love, I love Teen Challenge program. I'm just always, but you know what? The one gal made such a great point. It is what it is, and we're not going to be changing their minds. So, but there's a
Yeah,
lot of people that will work for it that, that I can pass it on to. I was wondering, do you know how long it takes to do that transfer from, say, Humboldt County, a Medi-Cal transfer to, say, Kern County? If I was to find people that were interested in going to Teen Challenge.
it's instant. They don't need Medi-Cal at all.
They
That
don't.
program,
They,
if
they,
the-
I mean,
the
I
girl-
get that it's free, but if they were, I guess only if they were to detox in the hospital there, then they would need the
well,
Medi-Cal.
they can actually detox. They have the supportive services to detox at that program. I picked their brain about it a lot, and then
Okay.
we also do compliance, so we check with the state to see, how high of a so
Yeah.
they can treat up to 3.7.
Okay.
They
Good to
have
know.
their license to 3.7, so they can detox there.
A question that I had, so I deal with anywhere from 40 to 100 patients, we call them patients, inmates, I don't even know, but I know them all by their first name. That's what I'll tell you about that.
Nice.
But I have some that have some, some mental health challenges. And have you been able to find programs that are willing to take them? Because that seems to be kind of tough.
No, not for us. Once you put your
Oh,
first
really?
patient in, you're going to see we only match patients to the facilities that can work with those comorbidities and dual diagnosis.
Okay.
So it does the mental math for you. So you put them in there and you say, okay, this patient's in withdrawal from, and this patient is also bipolar or
Wonderful.
yeah.
You
So
know,
it makes
I have two people in the jail that's primarily what they do. That's their job, is helping people get into treatment. I do it just because I want to do, but I want them to meet you and hear about your program. So I want to get them connected with you. One of them is Denny and the other one is Archie. I told Archie about your program today, but I'm really hoping they get in touch with you because I know it's going to really be helpful for them.
you know what? I'm gonna
I'm super excited about
Oh,
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of great programs. And in fact, I don't know if Nimra's is still on the call, but Nimra works at a program that's in Los Angeles, Claire Matrix. They have, all the levels of care except detox, but they have a Suboxone, methadone program that does the Um, and one of the things that I learned on a call that they had on their webinar is they actually provide transportation vouchers.
Wow.
So the
Incredible.
patient would come, yeah, and counseling. So that's
Wow.
another great program that you can apply your patient through Recover Well to that. And I think the first meeting they come and as I recall, it's a few hours and they provide snacks while they're doing their intake and setup. They provide snacks and they can bring their kids while they're
Wow.
doing it. And then they get set up on a continued program. And it's an awesome program. In fact, Claire Matrix is one of the first programs that I worked with in my network.
You said
And
Claire
they
Matrix?
perform miracles every day.
That is incredible.
Claire Matrix.
The one
It's
barrier that
incredible.
I have too, working with the inmates, and I work primarily with men. I have a few women, but I work more with the men, is that sometimes they don't know when they're getting out. Some of them, of course, are going on to prison, but a lot of them are getting out, but they don't know when, but they want to go into programs. And that's a little challenging. I not really sure how to accommodate that because they don't always know when they're going to get out. So,
Again, I'm happy to work with you guys on
okay,
that
all
because
right,
I have a social work background and this is the area of that I have always worked in. So I can definitely, I will keep track.
okay.
And we have 3 social workers that work in our company as well. That's what we do all day. We just track these patients, what's happening with them, where are they, what's the status, do they
It is so
still?
exciting. It's unbelievable. What about, is it okay? And I wouldn't do that with everybody, but is it okay if, say I have, you know, someone that I know is getting out within the next couple of weeks and they're really wanting to find treatment. Is it okay for me to give them directly your number or do you prefer to have me send them to say I could send them to Raphael at the hospital? I work a lot with him.
I always love it and prefer it when people go through the platform because
Okay, right.
I put my life savings into it
Yeah,
and built it to make it easier for everybody. However, if RecoverWell is ever presenting as a barrier because of timing and it's easier to reach out, like even here, Nimra's in here, but I don't, she might not have a microphone. She put clarematrix.org. You can apply them through their website, I believe. And then she also put, we coordinate with several prison programs and help them maintain MAT.
that is
So,
incredible.
so they're very accustomed to doing that. So, and they're here in Los Angeles, but I know they also have a program in Oxnard, I believe it is, which is a little bit north. It's not
Wonderful.
as far up north as Humboldt, but if people are going to be coming back, oh no, Ontario, my bad, sorry. I
Yes.
always confuse
Yeah, you
Oxnard
got
and
so much
Ontario.
going on. And the other thing is sometimes, you know, I have different people that have the 290 charges and trying to find treatment for them has really been a barrier as well. And I have men that I work with that, you know what, they desperately want treatment. They desperately want help. And yet, you know, here in Humboldt County, we send them out. There's no place for them to go at all. So, you know,
Yeah.
places too.
We filter for 290, 5150, 5250, self-harm. So we have filters for that in the platform. And you know what, let's do this, Dana. Let's set up a time where myself, you and your 2 team members can do a demo and I can show you
Okay.
guys
Okay.
exactly how you can filter for those things
Let
because
me talk with Denny, and Denny is the boss of her program. I'm the boss of my program, and then Archie works with her. Let me see when some times might be good for them, and then I'll of course get in touch with you and see when we couldn't do something together. Because the thing is, for Denny and Archie, they do it off and on throughout the week, every week. So I think this is going to be
okay.
such a blessing for them. I'm so excited.
Oh, good. I'm glad to
Yeah,
hear
so
that. And
I'll talk with them and then get in touch with you and see what we could do.
yeah, we have some awesome programs and we filter for all the things and
That is
put them to the right
incredible.
place. Yeah.
You've got to be
And
so proud of yourself. What a blessing you are, you know?
I don't know
What a
about proud of myself,
blessing.
but I feel like I do wish every day that this existed when my dad was still
I
alive.
know, I
Yeah.
know.
But we're getting there. It's if I can help somebody else have a good, healthy relationship with their dad or their family,
You're finding the silver lining in it, you know,
everything.
but thank you so much. I so appreciate it. I appreciate so very much your time and I'm excited to get together with them and have them get on board because this is it's gonna just be so nice for them.
Good.
But
And one more thing I'll point out too, like not
uh,
everyone coming out of the penal system is necessarily has an addiction. Sometimes they may just have real severe depression
yes,
or PTSD.
yeah,
So we have primary mental health programs as well.
wow,
And we have a couple programs that we work with that really specialize in PTSD, which
really.
a lot of folks coming out of the system.
Well, I have a young man that, let me tell you what, he became incarcerated at the age of 15. He's 41. He just got released a couple of weeks ago. I tell you, I and the other lady here, she is just such a beautiful, anyway, he could really benefit. He just terrified. He was so afraid of getting out that he actually became very, very suicidal because he was so afraid of getting out. And so for him to have, you know, perhaps some kind of a program, a place he could go would be just so beneficial. And the truth is, he's not been using drugs now for, a while. He's been out for about 2 weeks now, I think. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this reminds me of my favorite book of all time. There's a book called Man Child in the Promised Land, and I can't believe it, but I don't remember who the author's name
Man,
is.
child in the promised land.
And it's about a man's life. He went into the penal system at a very young age. He was a talented saxophone player, went into the penal system, and it was there that he learned to become a drug addict, and it was there that he learned to be a criminal. He did
Yeah.
something very petty, like a petty crime.
Right.
Anyway, an amazing story. It's got, glimmers of hope, and it might be
Oh,
interesting for your person to
yeah.
read.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I am so excited. I'm so excited for the other two people that I work with that to hear about your program. And I don't even hardly know how to explain it. So give me a short version of how I introduce it to Denny. How do I
yeah,
introduce it to her?
I'll do that. And I want to
Okay.
tell you that Nimra said she's going to reach out to her contacts to see if she
Okay.
can find treatment providers in Humboldt County that do MAT and also takes 290.
You know what? I've been doing this for 15 years, so I'm super, super familiar with what's in here in my county. I'm a small county. I've worked in the different places. So I'm pretty familiar with what's here.
Okay.
I mean, that would be helpful, but honest to Pete, she doesn't need to do that. I could pretend that would be wonderful. And the truth is, I've worked in the different programs. I know what's here. This is a super small community, so there's not a lot. Like in terms of 290, there's one home, one clean and sober home that we allow people to go to. Nobody here will take none of the residential programs, which there's only 3. No, that's not true. There's 5 because we've got Teen Challenge and we've got the mission program too. But no, I'm real familiar. I guess I'm wanting to know places outside of the community so that some of these people need to go outside to have their needs met. Humboldt County's small and we're
Yeah.
really limited. But anyway, I know I've taken a lot of your time and
That's
I
okay.
appreciate it.
I'll give you the 20-second elevator
Yes,
pitch.
I want the elevator. That's what I
Yeah.
need. Okay.
We Recover Well makes it super fast and easy to find treatment options regardless of insurance, comorbidities, or dual diagnosis. And we do it through an algorithm. So there's no incentivizing people or tweaking. It is what it is, right? You put in
Recover
what
Well
they
makes it super fast and easy
to find treatment
to find
options for
treatment options.
people who need behavioral health treatment.
Okay, I am so excited. They are going to be so excited. And you're going to love this Denny and Archie. You're going to love them. Okay,
Good.
I am thrilled.
Nimra's asking, what are some of the surrounding counties around Humboldt?
So we have Del Norte, which is even smaller. What else do we have around here?
What about Solano? Is that anywhere near you?
It's not super far away. Sacramento, that's not real far away. That's about 6-7 hours away. But yeah, Humboldt County, we've got HRC, we've got Waterfront, we've got Crossroads, we've got the Mission Program, we've got Teen Challenge. Those are the programs.
Okay, I have a couple
residential programs.
programs in Solano.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, and they do MAT and they do the full spectrum. It's called Archway. You can
I've
connect
heard of
them
that.
through Recover Well. Yeah, that's the man who runs that program. He's a really good person. So, and you know, they have limited availability, but you can always apply to
Okay.
programs through Recover Well as well. They've
I'm
got
super
a few
excited
out.
about that. My friend
Yeah.
Raphael is the one that told me about Recover Well. He works at the
Oh, yeah.
hospital. Raphael.
Yep.
He told me about your guys' program, and he also told me about Archway. So I'm excited to finally, like, I just need to get my one person in, and then I'll be on a journey. You know, I'll be able
That's
to do
right.
it. I just need to do that one person. So anyway, thank you so
Call
very
me when
much.
you're ready. I'm
I
here to
will.
help.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
you take
It's
care.
nice to see you
Bye.
and talk to you. Take
Yeah,
care.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.